You know, Jordan, when you're looking at a massive insider like George Lucas, when he produces like the Star Wars movies, that's the level you're talking about. That sort of stuff is going on. That's not taking place in a galaxy far, far away. That's much closer to home, and that's the level you're talking about. And I agree with you. What I'm saying is that's a level of this energetic level playing out down the levels right down to the human. And I tell you the way I see it anyway. What I'm saying in my new book is that the black holes, like the one in the center of this galaxy, are vibrating the base vibrational state of this reality, but it's not stable in the sense that it doesn't just stay forever vibrating in the same way. It goes through a cycle, and so it goes through this vibrational cycle, and eventually it comes back to the start. And in the play-out holographic world, it kind of seems to take the form, because of the way we decode it, as what I call a time loop. It's what the Asian and the Indian people call yugas, the different yugas. And as the black holes vibrate this base vibrational construct, this base vibrational foundation, it triggers information from the suns to be transmitted in the form of photons, photon energy, which is information. And the energy going through the acupuncture lines, the meridians, is photon energy as we decode that information. The Earth's energy grid has photon energy going through the grid as the Earth decodes that information. And as this vibration changes, and whoever created this virtual reality universe, in other words, this massively advanced computer game, they created this vibrational cycle. And as it goes through its cycle, the information coming from the suns in the photon energy changes. And so we're decoding this change. So we go through periods of what the ancients called the golden age, when there's massive expansion of awareness and connection and harmony and all the rest of it. And then there are other periods where the energy and the information is much more suppressed and limited, and these different cycles go on until it comes back from the start and the whole thing starts again. So consciousness, because you know, at the end of the day, for me, I can only speak for me. When we are at the realm of consciousness, pure consciousness, we see this whole game completely different. I mean, we're seeing it through the lens of what we call the physical body, and then we're seeing it a certain way, and it focuses our attention in the five sense world, which is why we look out of our eyes, or think we do, and see this world, and it's our base, main, prime sense of reality. But before we choose to come into it, not that it's necessarily in, but let's get too detailed here, before we choose to come in, that level of choice is made by consciousness in awareness of itself, disembodied awareness. When we come into this reality, we are trying to perceive why we're here and why we would choose to be here. If people believe that that's what we do, I certainly do. We're trying to understand the choice through the limited lens of the body, a choice made when we were in a state of consciousness. It's like the Oracle in the Matrix, where she says, you've not come here to make the choice, you've already made the choice. What you've come here to do is understand why you made the choice. And so you'll say to people, well, you know, there's not someone on another level with an AK-47 saying, get in that body or I shoot. You chose to be here. So if you chose to be here, why did we choose to be here? And sometimes we choose to come in certain parts of this changing epoch for really big challenges, which in an embodied sense, for want of a term, we'd go, I chose to do this, you must be having a laugh. And I feel that what this epoch change is that I'm talking about is this vibration is now moving from one period of this time loop into another period of this time loop. And through this period of suppression of what we would call darkness and limitation and control, a certain consciousness, because the base state was so applicable and supportive of it, has been dominant. But now as this, we go into this another epoch of a greater expansion, the vibrational foundation of this reality is no longer, increasingly by the hour and by the day, supportive of that awareness, consciousness in all its forms, whether it's alien in spaceships or whether it's pure consciousness or whether it's humans manipulating humans. It's no longer supportive of that awareness. And as we move further and further through the cusp, where there's a changeover and both are active like we are now, into where the new epoch energy will be the dominant one, as that has been up to this point, then that which has been manipulating here will not be able to manipulate there, because the energetic environment will not be in any way conducive to it. What we've got now, and this comes back to your point about this kind of military war going on the kind of Star Wars level of it, and I absolutely agree with you, is that because we're in the changeover, this stuff is now, we're getting both, and the tussle is on. Because up to this point, what you would call the dark forces, the manipulative, controlling forces, they've been playing at home. They've been the dominant force. Now it ain't happening anymore. There's something else is coming in. So we've got this war going on. And it's not that this level of the benevolent alien has suddenly manifested and appeared for the first time. It's been in existence all the way through this, but it's not been in a conducive energetic environment to impose itself on this reality. Now increasingly it is, and so we're now seeing the two and the tussle. But the tussle's a done deal because the energetic environment is no longer conducive to this, so something different must change. And that's why what we call the future, which is not really the future, it's just the changing energetic environment, is one that is going to be very different to this one. And yes, there is a tussle going on, and yes, there is a battle going on, but the outcome's a done deal.
Well, like
in my view, anyway.
What we were talking about this morning, we both agree that people have seen reptile aliens, and they are very evil and very real.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm talking about. Because if there are reptile aliens here, which I totally believe, because I've heard way too many stories over all the last 40 years, I've heard major stories about this. So I'm totally convinced that there are reptile aliens here.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
And so that being the case, though, they are real, legitimate, evil presence on the earth with us.
Yep.
Now, that implies that there must be also some very legitimate and real other entities here who are held here for our good, or to protect us, or to help us. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that there's a military operation going on the earth. These reptile aliens are legitimate. They're real.
But I can only say what I feel, Jordan. Their energetic preeminence through this period is now having the rug pulled from under them, because we're going into a new energetic epoch. And these are very low vibrational entities. You know, they're very clever, but they have no wisdom. They have no wisdom, otherwise they wouldn't do what they do. But they're very, very clever. And cleverness without wisdom is the most destructive force you can come across, which is why they're very, very destructive. And so they have been clever, and they've used technology and stuff. Which, you know, you can get very advanced technology in these intellectual states. But the intellectual state is a very low level of awareness, and as we're moving into this new energetic epoch, their ability to dominate as they have, that rug is being pulled from under them. But like I say, in this changeover, that tussle you're talking about between those reptilian entities and those which are seeking to remove their control of humanity all this time, they are together in what we call a battle. But what I'm saying is the outcome's a done deal.
That I understand, yeah.
Yeah.
But then you will agree that there is, in point of fact, some kind of a war going on.
Completely. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. What I'm saying is that war, battle, is an expression of the consciousness epoch that is manifests itself as these control freaks,
Yeah.
reptilian entities, and the consciousness change that's coming, this epoch energetic change that's coming, that it manifests as those that do not want to control.
Yeah.
And at the moment, because we're on the cusp, we've got this battle at that level, and it manifests down into the human experience as the Illuminati families, representatives of this reptilian control system, and those who are representative of the epoch energetic change. That is, if you like, I don't want to battle with anyone. I don't want to fight anyone. What you fight, you become. But using the terms that you are and the themes that you're using, that battle here is manifesting as a battle here, and but the energetic change will eventually wash away that which are manifestations of the old energetic blueprint. And that's why our kids and grandkids are not going to live in a fascist global state. Although for a few years it is going to look like that, because we're at the cusp, and the control system is going to be kicking and spitting and trying to impose itself for the next few years. But sorry guys, have a cup of tea, forget it. Open your bloody minds, stop trying to control, because there's nothing to worry about, because you're infinite consciousness anyway, and just get on the airbed and flow with a bloody new energy. Stop fighting, don't be silly, you know. I don't fear these entities. I feel for them. I mean, imagine waking up in the morning and realizing that they're still them. Terrified of everything, terrified of their food source, terrified of their resource source, all dependent on humans staying asleep. And we ain't staying asleep. Vast numbers aren't anyway, and so they're going to wake up even more fearful with every passing week that their food source and their control system and their means is more and more under threat from an awakening humanity. I mean, rather you than me, guys, you know. Come and join us. Let's have a beer. Stop being so silly. That's what I say.
I understand what you're saying.
As people awaken and expand their consciousness, and we go into this epoch, this expanded epoch, this higher vibrational epoch, then humanity is going to be moving into vibrational states. More and more people are, where these vampires of the old epoch, they cannot make the connection anymore, and they lose their power source. There's an incredible change in the global, indeed the reality, energy dynamic from this to this, and it's going to transform the reality that we now perceive into something extraordinary, incredible, amazing, for our children and grandchildren to spend most of their lives enjoying.
There is, on this earth right now, dark forces that are from somewhere else, and there are good forces here from somewhere else, and that they are playing out some kind of a war, as we've been discussing, some kind of a control factor is being at war with some kind of a good force that's trying to save mankind during this transition.
And you're from somewhere else as well. You gave us 2 hours of video to testimony.
Well, I mean, I just
to
said
that.
that. Yeah, I just said that.
And I think we're all probably from somewhere else. Most of the people watching this video are probably from somewhere else. The pawns in the world are the people who you have sometimes made reference to who don't have a clue about what's going on. But there are many who are realizing actually that they too are also from somewhere else, metaphorically or literally, and they're the cavalry that we've been waiting for. We're all here. The cavalry are already here. We've just got to wake up.
See, I think the big picture is that we're all from everywhere. You've got this infinite consciousness, the infinite all that is, has been, and ever will be, ever can be, all possibility, the silent all, everything and nothing, everywhere and nowhere, all possibility. That's the core of all of us. And as we experience these different cosmic games, we perceive that in increasing senses of limitation compared with the core of our being, all possibility, what I call infinite love, we perceive ourselves to be from here or from there or from wherever. What planet do you come from? When actually we're everything that is, has been, and ever will be. And that applies to the forces that people call evil. It applies to forces that people call good. The difference between those two is merely their point of observation of reality at the point they're observing. And it's like, I don't quote the Bible very much, I'm famous for it, but the prodigal son. The son goes out, causes, this, and he's supposed to be a bad son, and the good son that doesn't leave the father is the good son. But then the prodigal son comes back, and the father welcomes him with the same love, affection as he has for the son that stayed with him, symbolically didn't go out into the dark world, the dark level. And that's what we're playing. We're playing this cosmic game, which through the lenses of physical bodies, or what we perceive as physical bodies, it affects fundamentally our point of observation. And a reptilian in terrible fear of not surviving, and therefore I have to control everything because I feel I'm surviving and all that stuff, is a point of observation. A very desperately limited, dense, rather pathetic, and more than that, sad point of observation of self in the world. But in the end, all will be gathered in. All will be gathered in. And that which is currently considered evil, and that which is currently considered good and enlightenment, eventually will remember that it is simply all possibility having an experience. And the more you expand your consciousness and awareness to understand that that is what we are, the more your point of observation goes from the size of a pea, I am Ethel Jones, I am a reptilian and I need to manipulate people, to I am all that is having an experience. And I can have this experience, but I know what is having the experience. I've not fallen for the illusion that I am the experience. These reptilian entities think that they are their experience. That's why they're so limited and rather pathetic. They have manipulated humanity to believe they are their experience. What is happening as this epoch change goes on is more and more people are remembering that they're not their experience, that they are having an experience, but what they are is something different. And as that shift takes place, as a massive energetic shift takes place, and the ability of that level of awareness, the controlling system up to this point, to go on controlling, House of Cards is over, it's gone, can't do it anymore. And that's what we're experiencing. Fantastic time to be alive, by the way.
I'm totally convinced that we're on the same page, we're seeing the same thing.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
So final words, Jordan, because this is evening here, as those of you watching this video can see, from the dark descending on the world outside of the window here, metaphorically only. And we've got dinner on the table, which we have to stop and eat in a moment.
Not a bad idea.
And a week or so ago, Jordan, we talked about the 19-year-olds, the guys and girls who are your age when you had that remarkable experience with your girlfriend's father. And they're waking up in hundreds of thousands all over the world, watching this video and many others like it, wanting to know what's going on, not being told the truth by their parents, teachers, or the government. What are your words of encouragement for them? You can have the last word here. Take it away.
All right. You asked me for my subjective opinion, and I'll give you that. What I would suggest all people hearing my voice and watching this should do is to quietly find a place where you're by yourself and quietly ask the Spirit, talk audibly to the Great Spirit that men have called God. I don't care what you call it, but the Divine One, the presence of God. I believe that there is a very powerful presence watching and protecting us. And so I would suggest talking to that Great Spirit and asking it to protect you, to guide you, and to have you meet whoever you're supposed to, and to fulfill your destiny if it has one for you. So that's what I would suggest all young people start at that point. Just talk to God, so to speak. Talk to the Spirit and ask the Spirit to protect you, to guide you, to show you what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to learn.
Once people do that, the adventure starts.
Bet on it, you know.
The adventure starts. That's when life becomes the adventure, when you get to that level and you flow with it, like Jordan said. And life is no longer a drudge. It's a joy, and it's an adventure that just becomes a joy to experience.
You're exactly right.
It's the real self, not the one that we've been manipulated to believe in, the false identity.
Right.
And that's the difference. False identity, epoch past. Real self, epoch unfolding. Great time to be alive, honestly. Great time to be alive. Let's go for it. Well done, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. What a pleasure.
Nice to talk to you.
What a pleasure.
Or talk with you.
Yep. What a pleasure. Happy to be with you, David.
5 stars, gentlemen. Well done.
High fives, definitely. Doubles all round.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was good.
Okay, Jordan, you've got to say something profound here.
Goodbye and good luck. And bless you, my son. That's about as profound as it's going to get tonight.
Whoa, what a mind-blowing conversation. We should never end it, but it has ended, people. It has ended. What a brilliant idea to get these two legends together. And yeah, Jordan Maxwell has passed, but he has done what he's supposed to do. I would want to think he'll have a big legacy. Big legacy. And as I said, two of the greatest minds clash, two of the deepest thinkers, deepest researchers. Might not agree with a lot of things, but hey, it's food for thought. Food for thought. Food for thought, people. And I hope the viewers get what they're looking for with this one. Because I got what I was looking for, people. Brilliant, mind-opening interview. And wow. I'm not gonna stay long because it's a lot to unpack here, people. A lot to unpack here. Reptilian, non-humans. But I have some disagreements with that. Like praying and hoping and talking to these beyond human beings to like guide us, protect us. And I'm not. I'm not a believer of that. I'm not a believer of that, people. That all praying and hoping and no. I don't see it like that. I I don't see it like that. So yeah, if there's a disagreement, there's a disagreement and that. But hey, I enjoy this interview. Brilliant, brilliant, and as John Maxwell said in the head, good luck and good luck, people. Good luck. This world is so crazy at the moment. So crazy, so deceptive. You have to stay firm. Your mind have to be working overtime, overtime at the moment to decipher and to see what's real, what's fake, who's trying to deceive you, and yeah, you continue to people, continue to fight, you continue to push through, and stay strong. Yeah, consciousness is what we're seeking to bring across. So yeah.